Okay, today we're going to be talking about the Western expansion and the development of United States owning land from the Pacific to the Atlantic and vice versa. The first thing we have to talk about is, when we talk about Western expansion, is manifest destiny and actually what it means. Manifest destiny is not something tangible. We can't touch it. We can't define it indefinitely. Like, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy that a journalist is actually going to coin. John O'Sullivan, he's a reporter, and he's going to say, it's the manifest destiny of rich white guys to move west, basically what it is. It's the privileged white Americans in the early 1800s that they are saying that there is God's adventure for us to go. Manifest destiny basically is just going to give the Americans the, quote, God-given right to take over the land from the Atlantic to the Pacific. So it's the drive to spread democracy as well. It's a drive to spread democracy throughout the United States. It also, because we are in Jefferson's era, we have the agrarian way, and we want to, quote, fix the barbarians out west. Now, the barbarians already have their way of life and they're Native Americans, but we're calling them barbarians because it gives us the right to go west and fix them. Also, manifest destiny is inevitable, meaning that's going to happen. Regardless of what's experiences are going to happen, it's going to happen. We're going to move west. Nothing can stop us. And we can see that through the Northwest Ordinance, the Louisiana Purchase, the Texas annexation, the Mexican secession, the Oregon Treaty. We're going to see all that. Now, not everyone was for manifest destiny. There's going to be some Americans that are not behind it. But manifest destiny is going to occur in nationalism. And it's going to give us some sort of superiority complex. Meaning it's going to give Americans the belief that we were chosen, that we are special. It gives us permission. To move west and to grow as a country. We're bringing a democracy with us. We're bringing ideals of freedom, and we're just special. We need to move west because that's just it's what we have and what we need to do. Now, in order for manifest destiny to happen, it's not like we woke up one day and was like, let's just move west. So there are some economic driving forces for us to do this. So the driving forces that we have in our arsenal for why we need to move is mostly going to be economic. Jefferson is going to pass the Embargo Act, which is going to stop us from trading overseas. It's going to backfire. The economy is going to crash, basically. But it's going to increase industry. He didn't like it very much, but it's going to. So for the economic reasons is to fund our industries and to make it grow, we need raw materials. And we can't get it overseas, and so we're just going to find it out west. Raw materials, and the biggest one that we're going to look for is going to be land. And if you're Jefferson, it's going to be land to, pause for dramatic effect, farm on. But we're also looking for like coal and oil and that kind of stuff. And then another one's going to drive is we need, with the raw materials, we need new markets. Now, when we say new markets, that's just really an economic term that we use to say other than people. So we need new markets to sell goods. We need new people to sell goods to. In class, I used the lame example of a pencil. I am selling pencils to each one of you, and everyone has a pencil, and so they don't need one. So they're not going to buy a pencil unless, like, they need a backup pencil. But they're not going to buy one. And so my pencil business is going to decrease and crash. We're going to go bankrupt. So in order for me not to go bankrupt, I need to go find other places to sell my pencils. I can go across the hall. I can go down the hallway. I can go to another school. So I need new markets to sell my goods to keep my economy running. Also, there are giant population issues. So I guess we can put this in B. We are overpopulated in the East. And in the East, there's all trading ports. And if we're not trading, everyone's going to have economic issues and troubles with money. And so they're just going to move west to find a job or to find another place to go. We're also, the southern states specifically, are going to expand slavery west. Now, once again, they didn't just wake up one day and was like, let's just take our slaves west. They had to because they depleted all the natural resources that they had. The soil, they weren't crop rotating, the soil was not good, and so they had to move west, and they're bringing their slaves with them. Now, with the expansion of slavery, they had to get new soil for their plantations, but the expansion of slavery is going to now start to be an issue with government. When they're moving west, slave states will gain more power in the House of Representatives because, remember, they want to count slaves as representation purposes, but they can't. They have the 3/5 compromise. And so now we're going to have a little tiff between the North and the South. So the southern states are nice and happy, and the northern states are not. They are going to be mad about this. Let's make them mad rather than sad. There we go. They're not going to be okay with this. And so this is going to lead to the division of the country. So this is like, you should hear ominous music going on because this is going to be a step towards a civil war. We're also going to, with our driving forces, we want, once again, nationalism. If you need nationalism definitions, up here. We want to spread our democracy. We feel like we should, educate the savages out west, and we want them to be like us. So we want nationalism. We're going to spread democracy. Democracy with that. So those are all the driving forces that's going to cause us to want to move west. So to recap real quick, manifest destiny. It's the God-given right for us to move west. God gave us permission to own everything from the Atlantic to the Pacific. We need to go there to fix the barbarians out west, and it's inevitable. It's gonna happen. You can tell me no till you're blue in the face, but it's gonna happen. Just like quizzing you every day. You can tell me no until you're blue in the face, but you're going to get quizzed every day. We're going to develop this whole nationalism superiority complex where we were the chosen ones to go west and that we're the only ones that can do it. Now, the driving forces are going to be very economic. We need raw materials, specifically land to farm on. A little Jeffersonian mentality there. We need new markets to sell our goods. We need... we're overpopulated in the East. We got to spread that out a little bit. And plus, people are trying to escape the economic issues in the East. We need to expand, or not need to, but we're going to expand slavery because of the new soil issue. We're depleting it over in the East. And that's going to cause trouble between the northern and southern states because the South is going to have a little more representation in government in the House of Representatives. And we're going to spread democracy through nationalism. So that's manifest destiny and the driving forces for why we had to move west.